Hey, welcome to JW2542 tutoring. Tonight we have my SHSAT math course, lesson number 10. This is being recorded for my YouTube channel. And hi, I'm Josh, and welcome to lesson number 10, Algebraic Expressions, Part 2. What we'll do now is focus on our math. Here, the SHSAT math section focuses on middle school knowledge of the following topics: pre-algebra and algebra, geometry, the coordinate plane, charts and graphs, probability and statistics charts, and a few other math topics. If you're interested in preparing for the SHSAT, I do recommend working with the tutoring house for problem-solving type problems. If you are a middle school parent and you have a child in middle school, I recommend being familiar with the AMC8 exam in the American Mathematical Society. And if you're there, see if your school or any schools of any other parents you know of have a math team, because you can get those books and resources. The SHSAT is similar. Over half the test is very similar to problem solving steps from the AMC8 exam. Other tests that are good to review for the SHSAT are the Hunter College exam, and even the test for students for Catholic high schools. But still, the SHSAT is for specialized high schools of New York. Currently, there are still 9 of these high schools, and it's a merit-based exam, and you do have to earn a certain number of correct answers of the 57 total math and 57 English language arts questions. In its current form, it's still 5 grading questions and 52 multiple choice questions. And tonight we'll be focusing on the skills that we need for algebraic expressions part 2. Last time we focused on adding and subtracting terms with single variables and with multivariables. And here we're going to continue with the second half of the lesson, focusing on steps that include multiplying or dividing terms into lots. Okay, so again, this will use the skill of group-like terms, but now with all 4 math operations. This is just one of 33 lessons that I've personally been writing for 10 years for tutoring houses here in Brooklyn. My course begins with algebra for the first 12 to 13 lessons, then continues with puzzle solving, geometry, and then ends with charts and graphs and review lessons. What's really good about working with the tutoring house is that getting ready for standardized tests, you have a checklist of skills that the writers are testing. So if you work with the tutoring house that's gone over the exams year after year and has read dozens of books on each exam, then your child can be prepared with like a checklist of skills. And then as you go through the lessons, you can say, oh, those ratio problems are difficult for me. We need a few more worksheets on, say, lesson 7. Or the Pythagorean theorem is new. You need more lessons on lesson 17. Angle relationships is new for 7th and 8th graders. You might need a few more worksheets on some of the geometry questions as well, and compositions. To help your child succeed, remember that at tutoring houses, as a first goal, if you want to be accepted to these schools with 114 questions on the exam, the first goal is to get 40 on the English side and 40 on the math side consistently, so that then we can get you towards those acceptance letter scores. Certainly it would be a goal to begin by saying, okay, you can earn at least 80 points when you take a practice exam and I manage your time on the SHSAT. Before we get to today's lesson, we always begin class at the tutoring house with a warm-up quiz. And this quiz is designed by me, 2 easy level questions, and I picked 2 mid-level and 1 challenge level question for students for each time that we meet. So here's quiz number 10. You can see that there's a Google form link. If you click on the blue link here, I'll show you how that works. It does pop up into a new window, and you'll see you enter your email address and name, and then the quiz is down below. And then after you work it out, you can, with a pen and paper, you submit your answers in the bubble sheet and line provided below and click the purple submit button. So let me put this back up for you guys. Oops, where's the slideshow? That's weird. Oh, okay. So you will have since we have word problems, you always add an extra 2 minutes if there's 3 or more paragraph problems. So you'll have 12 minutes for these 5 practice questions. So without any further ado, I'll take my trusty stopwatch and set it for 12 minutes. All right, so please begin SHSAT quiz number 10, and I will see you in 12 minutes. Good luck. Right, so what we'll do now is please finish the problems that you're working on and make sure you have an answer for all 5 questions. That is time for SHSAT quiz number 10. After you complete the form by filling in your email address and name, make sure that you go to the bottom of the form and click on the purple submit button after making your final selections and answering the grid-in question. Let's go to the next slide. And what we'll do is I will show you a method to solve each of the questions on the quiz in less than 2 minutes. Here we go with the question number 1. Question number 1 reads, the distance to the sun is approximately 93 million miles. Which expresses this measurement in scientific notation? Well, you know that what we have to do is we have to move the decimal from the end, 3, 6, looks like 7 places to the left. So that's 7 places left. So that number is the power of 10. So in other words, we have 9.3 is the coefficient, but the decimal is going to go here between the 9 and the 3. So we have one lead number that's between a number between 1 and 9. Okay, it cannot be 2 digits because then you're at the next power of 10. So there it is, 9.3 times 10 to the 7th. So a scientist reads this number, they look at the power of 10, they say, okay, we're in the 10 millions, right? Well, how many 10 millions? 9 times 10, 90, it's more than 90 million, whatever this measurement is. Okay, so there it is, 9.3 times 10 to the 7th. The correct answer was B. 9.3 times 10 to the 7. For the 7 places, we move the decimal to the left to put the number in scientific notation. Okay. Question number 2. If a pentagon has 2 sides of length 2x centimeters and 3 sides each of length x. Okay. How am I going to draw this? It's not drawn for us. What I'll do is let me draw it like just open like this. There's the 3 sides, and each of these sides is length x, right? Then we need it's going to be like shaped like a gemstone like that, because this side's 2x. This side's double that length, 2x. So there's sort of my isosceles triangle top. Does that make sense? So then they're saying the perimeter of this pentagon shape is 42 centimeters. Well, tour around and add up all the sides, right? 2 plus 2 is 4, 5, 6, 7x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7x. 7x equals 42. Divide by 7, divide by 7. X equals 6. So that means that x is 6 centimeters. The correct answer was B. Bravo if you got B. X was 6. Next question. An airplane serves lunch to passengers and offers a fruit cup, chocolate cake, or ice cream for dessert. 18 out of 60 passengers in the coach seats ordered fruit cup. 12 out of 30 passengers in first class ordered the same dessert. What is the difference in percent who ordered the fruit cup between the coach and first class? All right, so I haven't flown in an airplane in quite some time, but if you have seen an airplane and they have the pilot and the pilot's crew are up in the front of the plane, and then they have a section that's right behind them usually, or special seating, that's the first class seating. And then they have the coach seating like behind it, and then usually, I guess, under the plane they would have any of the luggage and stuff is in down in the belly of the plane, right? So but that's the idea, is that there's different types of seating, and this is coach seating. here, and this is first class. So there might be there's a section of the plane, maybe the seats are a little more leg room, or the seats are fancier, or you even have like a dining table in front of your seat or something. But the first class is usually a more open space, and coach are more densely populated seats. Okay. So they said when we went to the coach seats, and they ordered their desserts for their meals. It's 18 out of 60 seats. And I guess that's equal to 6 out of 10. So let's put it like that. It's 6, right? Oh, wait, no, 3 out of 10 divided by 6. Right? So 60 divided by 10 is divided by 6 is 10. 18 divided by 6 is 3. And then for the first class theaters, there were only 30 seats. See, there are fewer seats in that section. There's 12 ordered fruit cups as well. Divide that by 3. That's 4/10. What's the difference in percent of those who ordered the first class between coach and first class seating? Well, the difference would be 3/10 is 30% of the passengers in coach. 4 out of 10 is 40% of the passengers in first class. So the difference is take the larger number, subtract the smaller number. I mean the positive difference. And that is 10%. Let's say if it's the positive, they just say the difference, the mathematical difference in percent. Okay, so here, right, if it's -10, we're talking about the absolute value then, right? Because if it's 30 minus 40, that's 30% less, 10% less, or 40 minus 30, that means first class is 10% more preferred. The fruit cup. Okay. Let's see, number 4. Here we go. All right, students, we're going to look at Q, R, and S and compare them. Q is 8/25. R is 3/10. S is 1 over the square root of 16. So the first thing we want to do is we want to rewrite them into something a little more useful. So I'm going to multiply the top by 4 and the bottom by 4. And then this one, I'm going to multiply the bottom by 10 and the top by 10. All right, that I see right away. We're not going to talk about S for the moment, but make both of the denominators 100. 25 times 4 is 100 in the denominator. 10 times 10 is 100 in the denominator. But for the equivalent fraction, you multiply by the same number. 25 times 4, so we must do 8 times 4 is 32 hundredths. 3/10 expressed as hundredths, multiply the top by 10, it's 30. Now, what are we going to do about this? There's a square root. Well, let's make it the equivalent fraction 1/4 first. And then since I want to work up to 100, let's do times 25, right? So 4 times 25 will make 100 in the denominator. Now we can compare them. 1 times 25, that's easy. That's 25. So what's going on here? It looks like Q is bigger than R is bigger than S if we were to write it as a double inequality, right? 32 is certainly bigger than 32 is more than 20, 30 is more than 25. So those would be our comparison arrows. Q is bigger than R is bigger than S. But the arrows are facing the other way. So we have to, since Q is greater than R is greater than S, that means that if we write that in reverse order, SRQ, then S is less than R is less than Q, right? We have to reverse the arrows if we write in the other direction. This should make sense to you. I hope it does. QRS in that direction, well, it's still true, but now it's the other direction. Where'd my arrow go? That was weird, teleported. There it is. S is less than R is less than Q, and the correct answer was that. C is trick answer. Can't have the same direction. It doesn't make sense if you know that Q is the greatest. And Q still is the greatest, but that it's arrows facing the other way. All right, any questions on number 4? Going, gone. Last one, question 5. Andy is driving in a straight line on a freeway heading east. Miss Morgan is driving in the same freeway headed west. Okay. At 1 p.m., they are exactly 180 miles apart. They will pass each other at 2:30. Andy is driving at 55 miles per hour. What speed is Morgan driving? All right, this is a little complicated looking. We'll do A for Andy. And M for Morgan. And they start 180 miles apart. Okay, that's the distance between Andy and Morgan. At 1 p.m. If let's see, they're going to pass each other at 2:30. That means whatever miles Andy covers, right? Andy's driving da 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 da. And then Morgan is over here, whatever miles Morgan covers, like that. That would be Morgan's distance. But it's the moment that they pass each other. The moment that they pass each other, here they've gone past each other. So let me fix that. The moment they're not going to smash into each other. The moment that they pass each other on the road, they'll have covered a total of 180 miles. Right, so whatever distance he traveled, what is going on with this pen? Whatever distance he traveled, right, and whatever distance she traveled, D1 plus D2, that has to equal 180 because that's when they pass each other, total. But also, we know that that will be 90 minutes later. Aha. So, well, maybe we'll set up a chart. Here's Andy. And here's Morgan. And her speed, the time, and the distance covered. Andy's going 55 miles per hour. The time is 1.5 hours because they told us that they're going to pass each other at 2:30. Morgan, we don't know what speed she's going. But we know that she'll also be driving for 1.5 hours. The rate or speed times the time at that speed is the distance traveled. So that will be 55 times 1.5. I'm going to do that. Let me erase this over here. So I can write it down. 55 times 3/2. Maybe it's easier if I do it that way. Plus x times 3/2 equals 180 total. Right? Because rate times time equals distance. That would be D1 and that'd be D2. Okay. So Andy's distance covered will be... Yeah, this isn't so bad. I'm gonna multiply everything by 2, right? So then we'll do times 2 on this side. We'll do times 2 on this side. 2 will cancel 2. And when we distribute it here, 2 will cancel 2. Okay, so then we have 165 plus 3x equals 360 total. Subtract 165 from both sides. Then we get 3x equals, let's see, 5 in the ones place. This becomes a 5, 15. That becomes a 2, 195. Divide both sides by 3. And X was 65 miles per hour. So in other words, Morgan is driving faster. She's driving 65 miles per hour in the opposite direction. And then after 90 minutes, they will pass each other on the road. They'll go beep, beep, and they pass each other on the road. And as they keep going. Because this is a challenge level problem, let's draw it. Let's draw it. They're all drawings. The correct answer was 65 miles per hour. Right back here in the grid. And now, here comes the drawing. Andy and Morgan. So Andy, drawing in boyish blue, drives a full hour. That's not boyish blue. There's blue. A full hour. And where'd the arrow go? And a half of that arrow. And then Morgan drives a full hour plus a half of that distance. Well, we already know Andy's speed is 55 miles per hour. So it's 55. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. One different color. Yellow chalk. 55 miles for the first hour. Plus, this is 1, and this is a half an hour of travel. So that'll be 55 upon 2. If Morgan is traveling 65 miles per hour, in the 1 hour, she'll go 65 miles in that other opposite direction. And then for the half hour, she'll do 65 upon 2. So if we add those 4 distances, it should add up to 180. 180 total. Question mark. All right, let's see it. Let's see it in action. 55 plus 65 is 120. Plus 55 plus 65 is 120 upon 2. We're just adding the fractions, putting them together. That equals 180. It sure does, because 120 plus 60 equals 180. We have the correct answer for Morgan's speed. The end. All right, let's get to next. We'll continue with today's core lesson, which is lesson number 10, a focus on algebraic expressions, part 2, working with problems with multiplying and dividing as well. So we're going to use all 4 operations now. Here's the first example: algebraic expressions, multiplication and division. The SHSAT exam has questions that contain algebraic expressions. For example, question 1, distribute a monomial. 5 times 3a minus 4b plus 5c equals. Well, remember that algebraic expressions contain terms separated by add or subtract. Remember to distribute the 5 onto all 3 terms. Here we have 5 times 3a plus 5 times negative 4b plus 5 times 5c. Simplifying, we have 15a minus 20b plus 25c, and the correct answer was C. 15a minus 20b plus 25c. Example 2. What is 3a times 7a minus 9 plus 2 times 7a minus 9? Well, here we're doing 2 separate distributions here. I'll highlight what's going on. Interesting that we have 7a minus 9. And first we're distributing 3a, and then we're going to just take 2 and multiply it by the same binomial, 7a minus 9. So first you distribute the 3a, multiply it onto those two terms, and then the 2 multiply it onto those two terms in the back. So we have 3 times 7 is 21a squared. 3 times 9 is negative 27a, okay, plus 2 times 7 is 14a, and 2 times negative 9 is negative 18. Then grouping like terms, it looks like we have, be careful, we have the same middle terms here can go into one group. So we have negative 27a plus 14a in the middle. So adding those together, we get negative 13a. And finally, we have a trinomial, meaning we have 3 terms. We have 21a squared minus 13a minus 18 after simplifying. And the correct answer was D, 21a squared minus 13a minus 18. And remember, this is like the last lesson. Remember to group the terms by power level. The square term comes first, and then the linear term would say the first power, then the constant comes last in standard form. Next one, dividing by a monomial. Well, here we're going to simplify 30a plus 18b plus 12 and divide it by 6. What we do is we take each of the terms above and we divide them by 6 separately. 30a divided by 6 is 5a. 18 divided by 6 is 3b. 12 divided by 6, so just numbers, is 2. So simplified, it's like we had this amount and we scaled it into a lot of 6 different groups. Each group would be 5a plus 3b plus 2 units. The correct answer was D, 5a plus 3b plus 2. A little more complicated, an advanced problem on the SHSAT would be to simplify with division, with fractions, when they're in variable form like this. So for example, an advanced question like number 2 would be simplify 45a plus 6 over 6a minus 4 plus 30b over 4b. Well, the first thing we have to do is we have to find the least common denominator for this fraction. Okay, so we have 6 and 4, and the least common multiple is 12. And then for the variables, we have a and b, so we need both a and b to make the denominator ab. So then to create the denominator that is the same for the first fraction, right, we have 6a is already present. We need 2b to be added to the first fraction. So that's on the top in the numerator, and we'll scale it on the bottom. Then we'll have 12ab. That's the least common denominator. Then on the 3 times table, there's also a 12, but we have to multiply, it's 4b, so we have to multiply with the second one by 3a over 3a. So then that will create 12ab also in the second fraction. So that's how we scale up to the least common denominator. Okay, so distributing up on top, we have 90ab plus 12b. And we also have, let me put the numbers up. We have 90ab plus 12b, 12a plus 98b. But amazingly, it looks like the 90ab minus 90ab, because we're subtracting, will cancel. And then we just have 12b minus 12a in the numerator over 12ab. Everything's divisible by 12. So we cancel the 12s. 12 divided by 12 is 1. And also for the second term, 12 divided by 12 is 1. So we left with b minus a over ab, and the correct answer was A. A is correct. So students in 7th and 8th grade have come to me and they said, I've tried these problems with algebra and I'm never going to get them. I might as well skip it. I might as well not waste my time. There is a shortcut. And the shortcut is to go right into the problem and pick values. So plug in values. And this is a way of solving the problem without algebra. So let's do this for this problem, this challenge level problem. So you see that it is solvable, even if you haven't taken algebra yet. So I'm going to pick a value for A and a value for B. So let's say let A equal 1. And then let B equal 2. Then we're going to plug into the expression and see what we get for the fractions. If A is 1, we'll have 45 plus 6 in the numerator. And for the second fraction in the numerator, we'll have 4 plus B is 2. So 4 plus 60. And then in the denominator, since A is 1, we'll have 6. And since B is 2, 4 times 2 is 8. Let's write this out first. So now we have 45 plus 6, which is 51. And we have 64 over 8. So now let's draw it. So we have 51 upon 6 minus 64 upon 8. And the least common denominator would be 24. We're going to multiply this one by 4. 6 times 4 will give us 24 in the denominator. And 8 times 3 will give us 24 in the denominator. So 4 times 51 is 204 over 24. And then 3, that's 180. This is 3 times 6 tens. 3 times 60 is 180. Plus 12 is 192 upon 24. So since it's the same denominator, we can now do 204 minus 192 over 24, and we get 12 over 24. But 12 over 24 is a half. So that means that if we plug in those values, then we'll get 204 over 24 minus 192 over 24 will give us 12 over 24. It's a half. So then we want to know, well, which of the expressions here is also equal to a half when we plug in? So choice A was the correct answer. We know that this is the correct answer. So let's prove it by plug-in. Well, B is now 2, and A is 1, and 8 and times 2, and we get a half. It really works. So you just have to remember that A and B are just placeholders for you. They're empty containers. They're reserved for a number, a mystery number. So you give it a value, but then you also have to do all 5 of these plugins to find out which one will also be equivalent to a half. Notice if we try, I'm not going to try B, but let's like if we try E, well, then we'll get 24, because B is 2, right? 24 minus 6 over 12 times 2 is 24. So then we'll get 18 over 24. That's 3/4. So that's incorrect. Okay, so E is wrong. But that'll also be true for B, C, and D, as long as you plug in the variables correctly. If there's a match where like 2 of them both work out, then just adjust the numbers. So like say let A equal 3 and B equal 5. Like just change the numbers and try again with those 2 expressions that were also the same correct answer. Okay, that's it for our warm-ups. All right, so now we're going to go to the core lesson. Remember that I designed this course so that the first 2 pages are easy level, questions 1 to 12. Page 3 of the classwork is mid-level, questions 13 to 18. The challenge level questions are questions 19 to 24. And then we have grid and review questions of all the previous lessons. So I invite you one and all to, if you're watching this YouTube video, to click on the form link and work on SHSAT classwork number 10. Just the even numbered questions, 15 of these 30 questions, so that we have time to review. Okay, so good luck on this practice of algebraic expressions, multiplication and division, and I will see you in 20 minutes. Okay, good luck. All right, so please take a break from the problem that you're working on. That is a 20-minute practice, and we'll go and review one easy, one mid, and one challenge level question to end this 90-minute class tonight. All right, here we go. Before we do that, scroll down to the answer key here, and here are the answers to all the questions for classwork number 10. You can pause the video if you need to. Otherwise, I'll read SHSAT classwork number 10, algebraic expressions part 2. 1 was B, 2 was E, 3 was A, 4 was B, 5 was C, 6 was E, 7 B, 8 was D, 9 was B, 10 was E, 11 was D, 12 was A, 13 was D, 14 was A, 15 was C, 16 was B, 17 was A, and 18 was B. 19 was B, 20 was D, 21 C, 22 was E, 23 was C, 24 was C. 25 was 15, 26 was 1/9, 27 was 12, 28 was 21, 29 was 64, and 30 was 3/10. Now, it's easy. We're doing even only. Let's go back to the questions at hand. I'll pick one easy level. No, number 2. Number 4. Number 6. Number 8. Number 10. Number 10 is a good one to go over for easy level. Let's go over number 4 and 10. Right. So number 4 says, if 4x is increased by 12y and the result is divided by 2, the result is equal to which of the following? Well, let's write it out. 4x plus 12y units, but the result is divided by 2, which means that we have to do 4x and divide that into 2, and 2y, well, y, divide that by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2x. 12 divided by 2 is 6y. The correct answer is 2x plus 6y. Make sure that you, since you're doing monomial division, that you divide each term by 2 separately. The correct answer was B. B like Bravo for question number 4. Question number 10. A rectangle has length 2x and width 3y. We don't know what x and y are in our design, but I'll draw it as if, okay? So 2x and 3y, so there's the ratio like 2 to 3, right? 2 to, that's 2 by 1. Wait, 2 by 2, that would be about like a 3 by 2. Okay, so let me write that on the picture here. This is 2x, and this is 3y in this direction. Okay, we don't know what x and y are, but I'm just saying. The length is doubled, and the width is tripled. So double in this direction. There's one blue arrow. We need a second one because we're doubling it. Why did it just do that? And then the length will be, the width is tripled. There's one of the widths. So we're going to put another one of those arrows at that length. And then yet another. So what is the area of this new rectangle? I should say the new rectangle. All right. So here we go. I'll put a wire frame down like that. That's how much it's been scaled, because we doubled that side, but we did triple the distance on that side. Well, what's really going on here? Well, if it's double on this side, that's 2x and that's 2x. If it's triple on this side, that's 3y, that's 3y, and that's 3y. So altogether, whoa, what just happened? It totally just zoomed out. So what are we doing here? So we have, we're doing math, duh. So we have 4x on this side and 369y on this side. So area is 4 times x times 9 times y. 36xy, grouping the numbers together. 4 times 9 is 36. 36xy, E was correct once it's scaled that way. Okay, that was question 10. Going to mid-level. Lowest, no, it's not even. 14. We said division 1. 16. Oh, break time. Or 18. Let's do the break time because there is a math shortcut for this shopping problem. How much does it cost for 5 soup, 6 hamburgers, and 4 hot dogs? Well, a soup is $4 minus 5 cents. It's $3.95. A hot dog is $3 minus nickel, minus 5 cents. And a hamburger is $6.50 minus 5 cents. Okay. So each of these has a certain price. This is what I'm trying to say here. Each of these has a certain price, but then it's subtracting 5 cents from it. Okay. From the item. So now let's see how many items we're buying. Okay. So we're buying 5 of these. We want, how many hot dogs is it growing up? 4 in this group. How many hamburgers? 6 hamburgers. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these prices. And then we have 9. It's 15 items. 15 items. But I'll do it at the whole dollar price or the whatever. 5 times 4 is $20 for the soups. Okay. 4 times 3 is $12 for the hot dogs. 6 times 6 is 36. Plus 50 cents 6 times, which is another $3. So it's $39 for the burgers. Putting these together, that's 32. Altogether, that's $71 total. But remember, each of those prices is a nickel more. So 15 items times minus 0.5 means I have to subtract 75 cents. And the correct answer that way is $70.25, right? Because just remember, you just have to subtract what? A nickel 15 times. 5 times 15, 5 carry the 275 cents less. Because it's less a nickel for each of the items. The end. Okay, it's a way of doing the math faster and accurate using rounding. Okay, 18 we're going to skip. 1 challenge problem. Yeah, question 20. 22. All right, last 2. Question 20 is a high school problem, and they tell you that you should factor. So if you've already taken algebra, in the 7th and 8th grade, but if you've taken algebra, you know that the numerator is x minus 2 times x plus 2. When we rewrite it, or the method called factoring, and then over 3 times x minus 2, then this factor is the same as that. So they cancel, and we get x plus 2 upon 3. Done. Okay, but that's a high school lesson. The correct answer is D, using our high school math skills. Unfortunately, that's not fair to most students. That's why parents cry foul. They go, hey, wait a minute. You put high school questions on this exam. Well, duh. You have to think on how to solve this problem. So what we'll do is we'll solve it by plug-in, right? You can plug in any value for x. Now, I'm not going to plug in 1 or 2 because we're subtracting 4. So I'll say let x equal 3. We can let x as a placeholder. Then we have 9 minus 4 upon 3 times 3 minus 2. 9 minus 4 is 5 upon 3 times 1 is 3, 5/3. If you do that, then try the answer choices as well. You have to let x equal 3, right? Then a will be 3 minus 2 is 1 over 3 is a third. B will be, let x equal 3. 5 over 9 minus 3 is 6. So it's not A and it's not B. What about C? We plug in x equals 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 times 3 is 9. Minus 6 is 3. Again, it's a third. Doesn't work out either. But D is our winner, chicken dinner, because 3 plus 2 is 5 in the numerator and the denominator is 3. We have the correct answer by plug in. So plug in, 7th graders. Plug in, you choose the value for x. Choose a reasonable number between 1 and 10. Here I chose 3. And you can see that then the expression, it works for the expression, as well as for choice D only. Okay, that's the way algebra is. Algebra is the placeholder for a number. Okay, last one, number 22. 22 is another problem solving that's very typical for the SHSAT. And it helps you understand that if you know a little bit about the set, you can sometimes figure out the rest of the set. So 2x plus 2y plus 2z is 110. But we know that x plus y is 11. Okay. Well, everything's here is even, so I'm going to divide the whole equation by 2. We're allowed to do that. Then x plus y plus z is 55. However, what did they tell us from the get-go? They told us that x plus y is 11. This plus this block and this block is 11. So now I can write down 11 plus z is 55. Then subtract 11 from both sides. Z is 44. So even though we don't know what the values of x and y are, certainly we have deduced that z, it must be 44. The end. Where's the highlighter? Z is 44. Okay, because we know that the sum of x and y are together, they're 11 units. Okay. All right, that was question number 22. Wait, why is that hair green thing there? Hey, got rid of it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this quick tour of the easy, mid, and challenge level problems for algebraic expressions and equations. And that is all the time we have for tonight. Again, please remember that I am Josh, your host. I've been a math tutor for over 15 years. I've worked with thousands of students for New York State Regents, the SHSAT, the test for Catholic schools, the cooperative exam, high school placement test, PSAT, SAT, ACT, AP exams in calculus, statistics, and physics, and the graduate record exam. Additionally, I've helped students prepare for their college portfolios, for business school, medical school, nursing school, and to be accepted into the graduate school programs of their choice. It's been an honor and a fun journey to work with students grade 5 to 12, as well as college and graduate school students on their mathematics. I am available for hire. If you email me gs7w2542@gmail.com or at the number on the screen. Check out my website where you'll hear great praise from my past students and parents who I've worked with. And you can see some more sample lessons. And I'll also try and add this set to my Wix website so you can access it for free. All right, again, this is a thank you donation tour for my SHSAT and SAT courses. I spent many years as a street performer, playing piano and juggling, especially juggling and wire walker and unicyclist. And because of your generous tips, I was able to take that money and take night classes and day classes and complete my college education and then a master's degree at Columbia University Teachers College. So thank you. Again, never give up. And happy studying to you. If you'd like to if you enjoy what I do, you can come back next week. Class live on November 22nd, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Lesson number 11. So here are the Google Form links, which I leave as an open share for quiz 10, classwork 10, and homework 10. So you have 70 problems to practice for the SHSAT just from this lesson. Thanks so much for joining me tonight or watching this recording here on Twitch or on YouTube. Again, my name's Josh, and this is what I do. So happy studying and good luck with your math academic goals. Take care and bye-bye. Thank you.